Okay, this is your differential question. It's talking about a coffee pot in the shape of a cylinder. Part A says show that dH dt is equal to negative square root of h over 5. So let's see what they're giving us. This coffee pot always has a radius of 5, h is the depth. Volume is changing at a rate of negative 5 pi square root of h. So they are telling you that dV dt equals negative 5 pi square root of h. Okay, it is a point for using that piece correctly and using it correctly for dV dt. So understanding this relationship. Okay, so I need to show that dH dt is that somehow. I'm going to use this equation for volume, which is given. Okay, now there is one constant in this problem. The height is changing, but the radius never changes. So I can plug in 5 for r right away, and if I plug in 5 for r, this is my equation for the volume. Now let's go ahead and take the derivative with respect to time. If I take this derivative with respect to time, then I get dV dt is equal to 25 pi as a constant multiple times dH dt. And they told us that dV dt is this, so I'm going to take that and substitute in here. And I'm trying to find dH dt, so if I divide by the 25 pi on both sides, that's how we'll get to this, which is what they're asking us to show. So I need to see that you're using this dV dt correctly, that you have taken the derivative correctly, and then your work to show to get to here. 3 points for part A. Okay, part B, here's your separation of variables. It says solve the differential equations. So step 1 is to separate the variables. I'm going to divide both sides by square root of h. It's up to you what you want to do with the 5. I'm just going to leave it on this side with the dt, but if you multiply that 5 over, that's fine. It is a point for separating it correctly. If you do not have the h's with the dh's and the dt by itself, this is a 5-point question. It's -5. You can't earn any other points beyond that. Okay, next I'm going to integrate this. This is really h to the negative 1/2. So I'm going to add 1 divided by the power. So this is this integral. The antiderivative this side. Don't forget your plus c. It is 1 point for each correct antiderivative on either side. If you forget the plus c here, though, you lose -3 points right away. Okay. Then I'm going to solve for h, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2, leave it as plus c here. It's up to you at which point that you want to go ahead and find that big plus c. It does tell you at t0, h is 17, so if you solve it here, you're going to get c as square root of 17. I'm going to solve for h, square both sides, make sure you do not square each term separately. This should be your answer. So it's a point for finding the c correctly at whichever point you do it, and then a point for getting h by itself. If you get t by itself, you will lose that last point. And then part C asks, at what time is the coffee pot empty? So the coffee pot empty means that the height is 0. So you're going to take your equation from above, set it equal to 0, and if you solve this, you should get 10 square root of 17 seconds. And it is just 1 point for your answer.